Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cultural Awareness, the podcast that allows you to travel across the world. All of this from the backseat of your car, the comfort of your home, or maybe your neighbor house. Who knows? Wherever you are, welcome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm your host, Big Steph. Aha! Welcome to another edition of Cultural Awareness. I almost thought I was going to speak with my African accent right there, but even though I still have an accent when I'm speaking, hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's driving well. Hope the coronavirus is leaving everybody alone, and hopefully soon we will all get back to where things were. Oh, technically we will not, but hey, welcome to Cultural Awareness Podcast. So, today is a special edition. As always, we talk about culture, and the topic of the day, anyway, you will discover it along the way, but the first thing you need to know is it has to do with African culture. What a shock, right? But anyway, let's get down to it, man. Let's get down to it. So, based on the story of the day, I will tell you a little bit about the concept of body, especially woman body when it comes to African culture, right? So you will hear Nigerian talk about it. You will hear yours truly Cameroonian talk about it. You will hear people from Guinea, anyway, like all the dark Africa talk about it, right? So did you know that in Africa, most of the time, people mostly like big bone women versus like skinny women, right? People most of the time like big bone women versus skinny women. Why? I don't know. Because sometimes they look at it in terms of procreation, like, oh, she will give strong children, you know. Sometimes they look at it as it's like a show of wealth, because when you are rich and your wife is too skinny, people think that maybe you don't feed her well, you know. So it's like people are respected sometimes when they have, you know, big bone women. And you will hear a lot of Nigerian talk about it. You will see how even Michael Blackson joke around by saying that skinny woman, he cannot be with a skinny woman because together they will start a fire. Yeah, that is actually funny. But anyway, so you will hear people like Africans say like they want thick woman, right? They want, you know, something to grab. They always say that you cannot eat your they like their meat, they like their bones with some meat on it. Yeah, that is how they say it. So why am I bringing that topic is because sometimes even for men, like women will also prefer a big man just because it shows that he has wealth. As here is seen as obesity. Over there in Africa, when a man is big, he got a little bit of a big stomach. He got what we call a one pack. He got his one pack. Most of the time he's seen as, oh, he got money, right? Even if the man will be like, hey, I'm just big, man, people will be like, nah, that means you're eating well, because most Africans are not heavy, man. We are skinny. I remember myself when I came here in 2008, you know, I still had like holes on my chest and things like that, or on my collarbone and things like that. Man, I was skinny when I look back at those pictures. But, you know, your boy then come here and started eating American food, and obviously I had like in college I had like 2 to 3 nutritionists just to help me gain weight, right? And I did, because right now I'm a big man, right? So but back then it was more about me gaining weight to be able to play football. They say I was too skinny. They were going to break me on the field. So that's why I remember Coach Max struggling to find a way for me to keep my weight on, because I would get to like 315, and after one game, I would be at 295. They would be like, man, how is this even possible? You know, so, but that is just, you know, a little bit of my backstory as far as me being big. So I wasn't always this big. I was very, very skinny, and I remember having to redshirt in college just so I can put some meat on, like some muscle and things like that. But anyway, the story of the day is kind of like sad to me because this is the story of a woman that is writing to the show because the couple actually live in Cameroon, by the way, and apparently her man is complaining about the fact that after she gave birth, she hasn't lost any weight, and instead she started gaining more weight. And he will tell her like, hey, I think you need to watch out for your weight. And at the beginning she would try, and then I guess she just gave up, and she started gaining more weight. And the more her husband was saying, hey, I think you need to lose weight, the more she will eat and gain more weight. And right now she says getting to a point where her husband doesn't even look at her anymore. When they're driving, he will look at, like, I guess, skinny woman or the type of woman that he preferred down the street or whatever. And like, she's frustrated by it, and she said would that cause her stress, and that cause her to she will find herself eating more. And she's writing to a show like, and he said, she also said that the man said that if she keep gaining weight, he's going to ask for a divorce because he cannot. He's at the point where, after asking her to lose weight many times and throughout the year, I guess now he's getting fed up, right? So he wants to ask for a divorce if her weight doesn't start going down. And she's writing to the show asking if a man should leave his wife just because she gained a lot of weight or whatever, right? So now, as an African, I would say no, not necessarily, but also I would debate on 2 points, right? Because having to gain weight doesn't necessarily just have to do to the fact that you gain weight. It also has to do with the fact that if you keep gaining that weight, well, this man is going to find himself being a widow. Because what happens once you get a lot of weight? Obesity, diabetes, blood pressure, and obviously heart attack and death. So I think the man is maybe just frustrated because she's gaining more and more weight, but I think that his frustration is also due to the fact that all the way he's expressing how he would like his wife to lose weight is not necessarily the best of ways. I think he may have found a way of convincing her and trying to ask her to walk out together and things like that. Maybe that will help, right? Because each man should try to, anyway, let's go at the beginning of everything. Let's go to the very, very beginning. In Africa, they say, if you wish to have a skinny woman or a woman that is not thick or heavy, like big bone, pretty much. I don't even know what term, because any term you use to these days is going to be like controversial. So if you wish to have a woman that is thin, right, before you marry her, you should look at her family. Go take a look at her mom, her father, her aunties. That should tell you a lot about what you are going to expect after she gives birth. Because a lot of people, like in Africa, we don't just choose somebody to get married. You marry first of all using blood. At least for us, like African, like they have to do blood check. Like it's mandatory. Like you cannot get married without checking on the blood first. If not, there might be consequences down the line. Like for us, like for example, before we get married, you have to check the woman's blood, like to know what blood type she is and if it matches with your genetic. I know that here in America, people just fall in love and start having kids, and then they start having sick kid, and they wonder where it came from. Well, genetic. That's why most Africans, like even till today, like before you even marry a girl, like there are some procedure that we have to to do as far as genetics are concerned and blood type are concerned, and like if you guys blood will match, then some people take it to the ancestral way, but we usually use our blood type. So before you marry a woman, you need to go check out her family. You need to check her genetic. You need to check, where is this woman coming from? How does her mother look like? Because they say apple don't fall far from a tree, meaning if her mother is thick, her aunties are thick, her father is thick, well, what do you expect when you marry her? It doesn't have to mean that she's going to be big and unhealthy. It just means that she comes from a bloodline with genetic that they are big people. Like me and my family, we are big. Like, we do not play around. Like, even though we grow up skinny like I was, but we are big. So I guess that is maybe one of the reasons why it was easy for me to put on that weight. It was a struggle at the beginning, but once it started coming, it never stopped, right? So I'm a big guy that I exercise, not necessarily to lose weight. For me, it's more of like staying healthy, being able to run, because I miss football, so I like running, I like lifting weight. So for me, it's something like that. That's why I'm big, right? And I'm not big like crazy, Anyway, people who have seen me know that I'm fitted, right? So this woman is wondering, should a man leave his wife just because she had gained a lot of weight? Well, to me, I think not necessarily. I think that most of the time, a man should try to work out with his wife. Now, if he tries to work out with you every time you turn it down, like, expect it also. Like, don't be working with somebody and saying that, they don't want to work with you. Well, you have to ask yourself some questions, because it's not just about the look, it's also about your health, right? Everybody knows that the more you eat, you will gain weight, and unless your genetic says that, you probably won't. Because I know also some skinny I know some skinny people, man, they can eat the whole house of food and they will not even get, matter of fact, they will lose weight when they eat like that, so it's like crazy. So we don't all have the same genetics, right? You need to know what type of genetic you are marrying. So before you get a woman, go check out her family, check her genetic, because she's not going to come far away from that. It's not like the genetic was making everybody big in her family, and all of a sudden on her turn, it's just going to go ahead and skip her and find the next generation. No. That's why they say in Africa, you don't necessarily marry for look. Right? Yeah, you want to be, like you see a pretty woman, you want to be attracted to her. You need to wonder if she's going to be good for you in the long run. It's not just about the quick look, or right now you are just in the lost land, right? You need to find out if she's going to be good for you in the long run, right? So first of all, like when Africans try to marry after, let's say fall for a woman, like the first thing that they do is try to go in the hospital real quick and do the blood thing that we do, the blood genetic test, and see if they are compatible. Once they find out they are compatible, now the man has to look on the family of the woman has to look on the family of the man, because even men, you have some men that get married, they are skinny, and all of a sudden they start gaining a lot of weight. Well, if you have looked at his family before, you will have seen that at one point it was going to happen. Now, how do you prevent it from happening? You have to watch what you eat. You can't be eating fast food all day, every day. You have to. So the food usually has a lot of answer, right? If you know that you have that type of bloodline, there are things that you can't be eating burgers all the time. You have to avoid sugar, because sugar, trust me on that, it gives you a lot of weight. Sugar give you a lot of weight. All type of sugary stuff out there, cookies, I don't know, cakes and drinks, like sodas, those things give you a lot. That's what make people obese. So if you know that your blood type is already predisposed to that genetic that is going to make you big, then start watching what you're eating so that you might not have to struggle it on, right? So me, even right now, I watch what I eat. Or at least I try. I know, like, I don't even remember the last time I drank soda, but just because I know my bloodline, like, we are big people, right? So I know, like, there are certain things I need to avoid, and things like that. Just so for this, I would recommend maybe to the men to maybe try to start working out with your wife. Try to watch what she eat. I'm not saying like to be too crazy about it, but like if you want to eat, like, no, there's no burger to be eating in this house. There's no soda to be drinking or drunken in this house. Whatever. Anyway, do you say drinking or drunken? Either way, it doesn't matter. College, we were in college to play football, so. But anyway, so that is a little bit about the story of the day. So you guys, let me know what you think. Should a man leave his wife just because his wife has gained a lot of weight? I don't know. The debate is out there for the open, because what does gaining weight means in some culture is okay, it's accepted. In African culture, it's accepted because, hey, yeah, some people don't just like skinny. Like, you will also see some couple that are struggling because the husband wants the wife to gain weight, right? Because apparently she's too thin, and parents start complaining like, "Hey, why are you not, like, in making him look bad in terms of the society? That he's like, he's not capable of feeding his woman, like he's not capable of taking care of his woman." So you have some couple where wife are struggling because they are trying to put on weight, but unfortunately for them, their genetic is just made in a way where in their family nobody has weight like that, right? So that is how you got to look at things as well. So for this woman, I would advise her to put herself on a diet. Not because her husband is asking her to lose weight, but because it's good for herself. It's good for her, like, her conscience. It's good for her own body. It's good for her wealth, not wealth, but health, right? It's good because it's preventing her from catching any type of blood pressure, heart disease, and blood clot, and all those type of things, right? I understand also that one of the argument that one of the elders will say is that you have some skinny people that had heart attack. Was it because they were they uh, they were fat? No. It has to do with their genetics as well. Yeah, and you have a lot of people, like, I seen, like, in the Samoan culture, and Polynesian culture, they can carry a lot of weight, and it's not so much of a big problem for them because their genetic is made to carry that much weight, right? So it's rare for me to find, like, skinny Polynesian, right? Anyway, maybe because I play football and all my Polynesian friends had to be big. We all were playing on the line, either on defensive line or offensive line. So we were all big, right? So that is a little bit different. But I don't know if I have, yeah, unless when I went to Hawaii, then I may have saw some thin Polynesian. But normally in the US soil, all my Polynesian friends that I see, hey, we ain't playing around when we meet, man. We big. So we're drinking some of that kava, baby, So, hey. But to get back to the story of the day, I think the man approach is wrong. I think there's better way of expressing to your wife. Like, she will understand, because, you don't have to be to think too far to know that we want you to lose weight or to gain weight, depending on whatever your situation is. But I think maybe he should start every weekend, right? You don't work on weekend. Try to exercise with her. Try to get her to the gym. Try to go for a jog, and start watching what you eat. No burger, no, avoid eating too much carb, right? So things like that. Start the veggie diet, because veggie has the low calorie. So, there are little things, small things like that will help, right? It will help in the, maybe not right away, but in the long run, where she will start shrinking. And, for her to achieve the keto state, her body has to first get rid of all that fat and everything, and she needs to avoid eating sugar, because I was at a point where I believe my body was on keto state and I didn't know, where your body start naturally just using its own fat to burn, to lose weight, like to burn energy. So once your body is using fat for energy, that is actually a good thing. I believe so. Yeah, that is actually a good thing, because your body is burning its own fat. So, and that's how some people lose weight. So for her body to achieve the keto state is going to be a little bit difficult, because especially for the first 2 weeks, it's a struggle. But, once eventually she get there, her body can use her own fat to start losing weight. That's how it works. So, avoid too much carb and sugary, and that will help. That being said, let's go to the quote of the day. All right, guys. So, as far as the quote of the day is concerned, let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So, like in Africa, like they believe that elders know a lot, right? So that elders, people, I mean, even here, like they have gained experience, they have wisdom, right? So, as far as the quote of the day goes, as follows: the death of an elderly man is like a burning library. The death of an elderly man is like a burning library. The quote comes from Ivory Coast, right? The death of an elderly man is like a burning library. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. Go check out again SD Property Group in the Dallas Forward area, man. They buy you a house. Like with them, you are at ease whenever you're selling your home, because you know that they will give you the right cash value for it. And I love cash. I don't know about you guys, but I love cash. So go out there and, reach out to Nesdy. Nesdy is NESTDE Property Group. Their phone number is 469-698-3370. 469-698-3370, right? They will take good care of you, and mention cultural awareness, mention cultural awareness to them, so they will know. It's not a commercial, by the way. I'm just giving a shout out. Even if you have your business and you need a shout out from me on my podcast, man, just, send me hit me up on the text, man, at 818-814-0978, 818-814-0978. I will put you for free on my podcast. You know what I mean? So this is not a joke or anything like that. I'm here to help entrepreneur, because I'm on that way myself. So if you want a shout out on the Cultural Awareness Podcast for free, at least for now, it's for free. Feel free to give me a text at 818-814-0978, and I will gladly give you a shout out on cultural awareness. That being said, thank you for listening to my sexy voice. Nah, just kidding. But thank you for listening to me, and feel free to follow us. Follow me on Instagram at BSteph77. Beast, like, the word, the beast. BSteph. Steph is STEPH. BSteph77. Yeah, that is me. Feel free to follow me on IG, man, and contact me out there. DM me if you have some possible venture or anything like that. Highlight your boy, and we will talk about it and see how we can come to some type of business deal together or anything. Thank you again for listening to me, and God bless. And as you know, peace. Big Steph.